All right, one of my first videos, aside from the beginning one. One topic that I wanted to discuss for a very long time now, because there's a lot of misconception that's going on out there, and I want to clear the air in terms of my experience and in this matter, in this situation, and how I look at it. But most importantly, how I feel it should be on a general scale. This is not one-sided in any way in terms of like I'm talking in terms of a male or female perspective. But what I wanted to touch on is dating people who have kids. Now I know this is a controversial topic. I'm aware of this because there's a whole bunch of different things going on about oh I have a kid, I have kids, and everything else. There's a lot of jazz that come into it: baby mothers, baby fathers, so on and so forth. I've been with a good amount of women who've had kids, varying kids, who had sons, who has daughters, some of which whose children were older than me. So, so I definitely I'm well rounded in that experience in that light. But one thing that I've noticed with different women in different situations is that dating anybody, for that matter, not just women specifically. I'm saying women because I'm a man. I date women, but nothing against gay people. That's my disclaimer. But I'm just saying, whatever it is, anybody who has a kid, how I feel is they do. A lot of people say things that are socially acceptable, and I don't like that. Like, who cares what society thinks or says? Because it's society. Society doesn't. Is only one aspect of life. You have social interactions, physical interactions, mental interactions, emotional interactions, as well as spiritual interactions. Those are the five categories of your life. So social interactions, that's only one aspect of it. You still have a whole other four categories of your life that all tie into it. So for people to be all torn up into like what's socially acceptable, what society thinks, how people view them, how they're handling things, it should not be like that. Now, when it comes to dating people with children, a lot of people who have children feel that they want to stay the phrase, "Oh, my child comes first." I need you to understand, like it's me and my child. It's a package deal. And oh well, it's my daughter or it's my son or it's my children or whatever the case may be, or I'm watching this person's kid, so this is the most important thing in my life. It's all about them, and the emphasis is all about them, and it should not be like that. Okay, because in reality, if you really look at it from a logical standpoint, it's impossible for your child to be before any and everything. Because in reality, if that's the case, you're more than just a parent. You're more than just a guardian. All right. Yeah, when we're in the house, when you're home, you're a parent. You're a parent. Many of you can be husbands. Many of you could be wives, could be aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, grandmothers, grandparents, the whole stretch. And that's the roles that you play in given the situation. However, when you're at work, yes, you're still one of those categories. But at that stage of the game, that's not the first thing that's important. When you're at work, you're an employee. So your mission, your mindset should be focused on doing whatever your job entails you to do, whatever your job description maps out for you to do. It's not about at that moment where, oh, I'm being a parent, because in that stage of the game, you're not around your child 9 times out of 10, unless you work in a daycare and the child is there. I'm sorry, I'm at work. I'm hearing a lot of noise upstairs. Anyway, and it's impossible for you at that moment to be a parent if your child is not next to you. Yes, you're a parent in the indirect sense, in the indirect sense, but you're always going to be a parent, obviously. But at that moment, your main priority is you being an employee. Just like when you're in school, you're in school, you're a student. You're not a parent at that moment. You're not playing the position of a parent at that stage of the game. People understand as being a parent is only one of the priorities that you have. Things that shift. It's cycles. All right. People have different things within their cycle, but in that cycle, your whatever job, whatever scenarios or titles that you have to interchange between them to accommodate the scenario and the situations. So when I hear people or women or men say, mostly women, I'm sorry, ladies, but you know how you are. say, oh, my son this, my daughter this. They come first. You have to understand that. You have to respect that. I respect the fact that your child is important to you, as your child should be. But you also have to understand and respect the fact that I am also an individual, the same as your child. There's nothing special about your child more so than me in a logical sense. Maybe more, the child will hold more weight to you because it's your blood, it's your flesh and blood. But in reality, in society, life, excuse me, that's to say life in general, all right? But no, society too, depending how you want to look at it, doesn't care who's what. Bills don't give a damn who your son is, who's not. They care who's making that money. If I'm with you and I'm working and I'm handling things down, society don't give a shit about your child or what's this. Your bills don't care about who's what. They care about who's making that money. So I'm making that money. I'm assisting you in taking care of what you got to take care of. I'm also should be as valuable equally, all right, or equally with your child. I'm not gonna say more. Some people may value their spouse or whoever they with more than their child to some degree in certain categories, especially when it comes to money, because logically speaking, a child cannot work. Unless you a migrant worker, we can somewhere sewing shirts or Jordans. But seriously, a child cannot work. A child cannot do certain things that I, as a male or me or somebody as a partner can. And in that regard, obviously, you're going to be put before the child because you're the only one that can provide the service of which the child cannot. But I am an individual, and I am whoever I am to. Especially if I'm your husband, you married me. That means I'm very important to you. I should be very important to you. And at this stage of the game, I'm second to no one but God, and that's how I feel personally. Same way with you. You're second to no one but God. I would never put anybody over you. I will hold people on the same level as you because I should also exhibit that same love and affection for you as if you're just as important as my flesh and blood. That's supposed to be the situation at that moment. So for all those women who and some I've heard some men say it, but mostly women, but I've heard some men say it. For all those people who said that their child comes before everything, that's a lie. Let's be real here. It sounds better. We hear people in Maury saying all that business. My child comes before everything. You better do what you got to do for my child. I know what you expect me to do. I'm a mother. You got to understand that. No, I do understand that. But you also have to understand, like, being a mother is not your only position. That's your only role. You're a girlfriend or you're a boyfriend. All right. You're a sister or you're a brother. You have other categories. You're an employee. All right. You are a student. You understand me? You have different roles in which you have to play, and you should all show each one of these things respect. Because if it wasn't for me, like let's take the example of, all right, you're skimping out on things with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, but when you go to work, you can't skimp out on things because they'll fire your ass. Same thing, your boyfriend or your girlfriend will break up with you if you cannot accommodate them. Your job, if you cannot accommodate the responsibilities that you need to take care of pertaining to your job, they will fire your ass. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but because there's less emotion to put into work, it's more a mechanical situation. Like, all right, I got to do this, that, and I get paycheck at the end of it. But same thing in a relationship, it's more emotions involved, which feels like people take their partner for granted and put their partner all the way at the bottom under being an employee, under being a student and all that. But like when it comes to these other things, you guys don't take that into consideration. Or a partner is still as important as anything else that you have to take care of, and it's a responsibility. You have a responsibility as a girlfriend, as a boyfriend, to take care of your partner and make sure that they're happy and that they're being paid attention to, and you accommodate them accordingly. There's gonna be time. There's gonna be family time. The women that I've dated, there was times when they had their child around. It was fine because I knew they made me feel at any given moment that they're gonna make time for me. They're gonna find babysitting. They're gonna make movements or whatever that they need. They feel that they need to do to accommodate the time that they want to spend with me. You shouldn't want to spend time with me. You shouldn't want to have me feel like I got to be around your son or your child all the time. And me too. I'm a father. I have 2 daughters. Okay. And if I'm while I'm dating, if I'm doing the things that I'm doing, I make sure to accommodate whatever I need to accommodate for the sake of not having my kids around or not having my kids be an issue to whatever it is that I'm doing at the moment. I'm not going to allow my children to interfere with what's happening. I have enough grace in. I call it having grace with your shit. I have enough grace in terms of having to balance what I got to balance and make sure everything moves smoothly. All right. I got to go to work, so I put my kids in daycare. Their mother is taking classes at the moment, so I can't watch them. She can't watch them. I put them in daycare. This is movements that I have to do, that I've done to accommodate what I need to accommodate. All right, I'm at work. So what you gonna do? Like, you gonna tell your job, oh, my kid comes first, so I'm not coming in. Fuck that. But you tell that to your boyfriend or girlfriend though, right? Hey, yo, my kid comes first. We can't go out. We can't chill. Right? That's not fair. If you look at it like that, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You're putting more emphasis on a job than your partner. And I know what some of you thinking. You're this person. They're temporary, they're not permanent. Your job is, it affects different aspects of your life. I got to pay my bills, so I need to take my finances in. I mean, my emotions is not as important as my bills, because no matter how I feel sad, I feel happy, my bills are still going to come. And you're right about that. But that's when being able to cycle through your priorities comes into play, where you have to be able to balance it and show each one of them the correct amount of respect at the time that's needed. When you're at work, obviously that's time for work. But when you have somebody, you make a time, you have to make time for that person. And certain things should not have to give. What you expect? Like the person, like you're going to be moving in together and then you're never going to be home or something like that. Like, why do I have to move in with you to spend time with you? Why should anybody have to move in with them in order to spend time with them because their kid is an issue? Then how are you supposed to build? When you're dating somebody, you're supposed to be able to build with them. You're supposed to be able to get to know them. In order for you to get to know them, you got to spend time with them. Right? So how, a lot of these relationships, people don't spend the time that's required. They don't put in the correct amount of time in the beginning of the relationships to create the strong foundation from which to build their lives from. If that foundation is shaky and then you guys start skipping steps, because there's steps in their relationship, there's steps that you have to walk up to, that to be able to escape from just being friends or associates, to getting to the full relationship status where there's girlfriend and boyfriend titles, to getting beyond that, walking towards the ultimate destination of marriage, and then after that, going onto the floor, okay, and the slippery obstacles to maintain that marriage, okay? So you should not at that stage of the game be like, start putting things off, or you should move in, and whenever the moment is right, you just finish having sex with the individual or going out, you had a good time, so on and so forth, and then you start putting all these good ideas in their head. And because the person is in a sense of a utopia, they're like, oh yeah, oh God, I feel good right now. That sounds like a great idea. Until later on, a lot of these people rush into things and they get caught up in these situations, and then they're like, what happened? I thought it was good. Yeah, but you thought you was good because you guys are making decisions after a good moment, after some good sex, after a good date or a good meal or a good event. You guys went out to a concert, you had a great time, friends and all that other stuff. Then you guys want to talk about stuff. Yeah, that's the perfect time to talk about it. You feel all full with love and emotions. You're like, oh God, I feel so good. Let's talk about good stuff. And yeah, it's awesome to feel like that. But logically speaking, I mean, at the end of the day, logic is always gonna make itself known. It's always good to get caught up in the the enchantment of love, and get caught up in that spell and everything. But when you break it down to like what's happening, you guys get into arguments and so on and so forth. Then what? Stop these arguments now. For all those women out there who's saying all these socially acceptable things, my child comes first and all that, stop saying that. That's a lie. That doesn't make any sense. Your child does not come first all the time. All right? Now, if there's choices that have to be made in terms of like, your child's in the hospital, things of that nature, of course, these are emergencies, okay? Emergencies, things that emerge, that make themselves known at a later time and at random. All right? Not so much a later time, at random. All right? This is what we call emergencies, things that just pop up. But your child does not come first before everything, because at that stage of the game, your paycheck is coming first. When you're in school, that your education is coming first, not your child. Your child is there; it's always going to be there, but it's not at the forefront of your brain. In the back of your head, your child's there. You're thinking about your child. You're a parent, all right. But you also have to keep in mind and respect the fact that you have other things that you have to take care of. So when it comes to dating somebody who have a child, you have to also express to them out front what you want, what you're expecting, what you would like to receive from them, and that you do understand that they do have a child, but they have to understand that they have somebody that they're dating, that they're talking to, and that should be respected. I think it should. Certain things I'm just not gonna allow. I'm not gonna tolerate anymore, and I've expressed that to a couple individuals. And hey, listen, if I'm an adult now. I'm not young, I'm not a teenager anymore, and I have standards and things that I would like to accommodate. But I also understand what I can give to the table, and I want to be given the attention that I deserve, and I will also in turn give you the attention that I deserve. Same thing. Even if I didn't have kids and I worked a lot, how would you feel? Now I'm saying my job comes first, right? Same scenario here. You have children. Your kid comes first. I don't have children, but my job comes first. That means we're both putting a lot of too much emphasis into one particular thing and allowing that to supersede anything else.
Mark,
Yeah,
George wants you.
I'm coming.
Okay, I will call.
All right. Like I said, I was at work, but you're allowing that to supersede something else, and that shouldn't be the case. Because if I worked all the time and you're lonely, you're supposed to be dating, you're thinking about me, like, man, we never spend time in here. You're gonna get upset. You know, same thing with a woman. If a woman, those lawyers and all that, they have difficulty being able to make time. I had a good friend of mine where his girlfriend was always busy. She worked in a law firm and she was in school and all this other stuff. She never got a chance to spend time with him. And what ended up happening? He started spending time with somebody else, and he eventually left her to be with that other person. Why? Because that person wasn't able to find time to accommodate my homeboy and make sure that he was well taken care of. And in regards to that, it's like I don't blame him, you know, because everybody needs time. You need to spend time with people. All right, it doesn't have to be because of kids. You have kids, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's an easy giveaway excuse, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to hold down your responsibilities. Period. Because in reality, your bill's not going to stop coming. You're not going to care if you get hurt. You're not going to care if anything happens to you. You got to get paid. Same thing. Your man, your girl, they're not going to care about, you know, what's happening so much in your personal life as it is like, you know, they have to be important. They're going to care about it to a certain extent, but if they feel like you're not caring about them the same amount of where you're caring about everything else, they're going to feel inferior. They're going to feel like, hey, what about me? You don't want that. You want to be able to hold people down and pay attention to them so they feel good. So like if anything does happen and you got to make you got something, listen, baby, you know, I need you to rock out for a little bit. I'm about to go, you know, take care of some stuff. Then you already set the tone for Rich. Like, listen, I'm going to make time for you. I've made time for you before. It's just I got to take care of some stuff real quick or for X amount of time. You know what I'm saying? And after that, baby, I'm all yours again. You have to be able to give them some sort of comfort, so they be able to be like, oh, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, no, I know he makes time for me. I'm saying he called out to work for me, stuff like that. And sometimes you gotta make those type of sacrifices. I've called out to work for my girl before. You know, I've done that. I stayed in the bed like, you know, baby, I'm staying in the house with you because I knew it was that important to her. When I was working too much, working double, 16 hours a day, every single day for months. You know, I'm never really seeing her. I mean, I spent time together, we barely even having sex, and I had to make that time to give to her, and it meant a lot to her, and it gave me the leverage to be able to do other stuff and, you know, put her at ease. So, give me a second, I'll be right back.